Hey everyone, Lord Snake here with another online replay commentary. I suppose I was going to say Shogun 2 commentary, but that isn't correct. This is Napoleon Total War. Now, I played in a 3v3 that was really good, so I decided to bring you the replay of it. My allies were Pike and WWW Kevku the Ripper, and my opponents you will see because I did not get there fast enough. Now, my allies, I had two French allies. As you can see, there's one of them, and here's the other. And then, I played as Russia. He's glorious. Now, you can see quite easily that the graphics in this game are not as up to par. That's because this is a little bit of an older game if you're not familiar with the Total War series. I highly recommend it if you aren't. But anyway, I suppose I should start off by telling you my units. I had two musketeers there, Moscow musketeers, another unit of musketeers right here. Looks like 2 units of grenadiers and 3 units of lifeguard foot. And then I had three units of cuirassiers, Cossack cavalry, a lifeguard horse, my general, which is just a general staff. I didn't go for the upgraded general, and 2 mounted rifles right here. You know what? This is going to take me way too long to go through all of the units. Right here, my opponent. The hell is... I guess it doesn't say their names in here, so if you want to know who my opponents are, you're going to have to go back a little bit. You're going to have to rewind a little bit to see their names. But this is a pretty interesting battle overall. I mainly showed it because it was definitely the largest battle that I've ever played in a Total War game. Since not only was it 3v3, but they also had just a ton of starting funds, or tons of funds for all 3 of the armies, so I definitely wanted to show it. Just to also show my computer's strength, because obviously not everyone can run this. As you can see here, the frames per second isn't very good. I'm seeing at the bottom of my screen, you guys can't see it because I did not have it showing for Fraps, but from what Fraps is telling me, it's only about 20 frames per second, so it's pretty graphically intense, because obviously I can't play a game that's this big on Shogun 2, but at the same time my computer's able to run it better than almost everyone else's computer, because I know almost every single time I've noticed there is always lag whenever I play a 3v3 in here that's about this big. Also, there's like a really crappy matchmaking system, so you usually just go to all your opponents, or you go to the map listings and whatnot of people who actually make the games instead of letting the computer auto make it for you. But as you can see here, my allies are getting in range with their chasseurs, and they have them in a kneeling position, so that means that they could have a line infantry come up from behind these guys and they won't be shooting each other in the backs. That's something that I noticed on Shogun 2's Fall of the Samurai is not nearly as devastating if you have units that are firing from behind with another unit in between the two. Now you can see the fighting opened up over here between my ally here and this Prussian army. For those of you who are really bad with history, Prussia, it was basically northern Germany, I think. It was somewhere around northern Germany. All I remember is a couple of the different czars of Russia always praised the Prussians because of how good they were in a militaristic way. Now you can see my ally charged in with guard lancers, but that really doesn't help out when you're charging against someone who's in square formation with musketeers. And this Prussian Hussiers charged through and managed to hit my French ally, and quite devastating too, might I add, because they were not in square formation. Now here you can see I had all my guys kind of come up, and you'll notice since these guys are attacking from behind this swift foot, they'll shoot the swift foot every now and then, and it wasn't my intention to attack from behind these guys. These guys actually moved up after I had already set up a position right here. But I definitely came in to give my ally the assist. Which, it kind of worked, but as you can see, it's not really that useful. And on the other end of the battlefield here, fighting between Sweden and the other French army has finally been established. Now you can see this is just a massive battle here. There was just thousands of guys on both sides, so it's definitely neat to see, though I hate being allied with the French. They always run away. Now right here you can see that these guys are going to be shooting their friends in the back. That is not the way to go. But it wasn't that devastating for friendly fire on their part, because it was only really one unit that was taking a shit ton of friendly fire. And you can kind of notice that fighting opened up between Great Britain and me, the Russians. Yes, we will win. But the problem was that I had my Grenadiers up here and Lifeguard foot, and they had a skirmisher units. 2 units of rifles, which they have extra range, so I wasn't shooting back. And I didn't really notice on the account of, I think I was paying more attention to this front over here, which, as you can see, wasn't really helping me out because they got a bit of a flanking position on those guys. But thankfully, I basically got a flanking position on them right here with Grenadiers. But the problem is with Grenadiers, I should have really been charging in, because Grenadiers are much more melee-oriented than other line infantry units. Right over here, the French and Prussian battle is really heating up. You can see the French here have 7th Regiment Chasselier. I don't even know. You can tell I don't play this game nearly as often as Fall of the Samurai. I don't know nearly as much about the units in this. Why aren't these guys firing?
Sir! Sir! Our general is under attack!
It's okay. It's no big deal. I definitely like the Russian colors in this, because the Russians wore the green outfits. Which, I mean, obviously green is the best when you're inside of a temperate type of climate like we are in this one. I'm not sure what map this was exactly. Again, I'm pretty noob at Napoleon Total War. My real strength is when you get me into Fall of the Samurai. Now you can see I just made these guys shatter and run away. And right here they brought up their German Legion foot. That's pretty neat. Just the sheer size of this battle is really neat, in my opinion. Now you can see I got a flanking position on the Swedes, but they weren't quite within range. So that wasn't helpful at all to my ally. These guys just got a rank up here, these Lifeguard foot.
Stand aside, let them through!
Hear them in their English accents. And right here I sent out all of my melee horse guys, and you can see right there I tried to stop them before they got into that square formation, because my opponent was pretty good at being on the ball with that square formation. And right here he got some horsemen in range. I don't know why these guys weren't firing. I did not turn off auto fire on any unit, but whatever.
Our men are running, sir.
If you run and you are Russian, you get shot when you return home. Let that be a lesson to all of my other soldiers. Right here, an enemy general was killed. I guess that was one of my opponents, was Mini-Me 095. And you can see you got flanking positions up here, and again, I'm not sure why they weren't firing for that long, but whatever. They began to fire right there and then on the Moscow Musketeers group. Now you can see I'm kind of getting my ass handed to me because I was only like a 3-star general in this. But you can see my horse guys definitely were pretty effective because I got in a flanking attack on these militia, Swedish militia. That lifeguard foot just got into a square formation, but that's not going to help out the militia. And they're going to start shooting at all my horse guys, but again, that's not going to help out a lot. Whose general was that? An allied general, that was WWW Kevku the Ripper. He just lost his general right there to the Prussians. And you can see right here my ally, like I said that I wasn't very good, but my ally was definitely not doing any better than I was. And you can see all of the British are coming around from the sides here, and here's my guys right here.
Our men are running, sir.
I think it's funny that he got into a square formation when I was attacking with mounted rifles. Look at this intense battle! But again, over here he got into square formation against mounted rifles. If I was going to send them into melee, that really wouldn't be effective. And here I got my general up so my guys wouldn't run away as fast. And you can see right here, my lifeguard foot is in melee with horse guards. 2 units of horse guards.
Our men are running, sir.
And right here is a big firefight between my lifeguard foot, lifeguards of foots, and I just broke this line infantry, Swedish line infantry here. But yeah, they're in square formation, so obviously they're not going to be holding up too well against my lifeguard foot. And you can see right here that my ally over on this side just dominated the field. And right there, lifeguards of horse, he just had a big charge into them with a Polish guard, lancers, and Bakirs something. Lancers. Terrible, terrible. And they just made a general staff route in the chatter right there, so that's good. Definitely going to lower the morale of our enemies.
Our men are running, sir.
And you can see right here, I was kind of just sitting back, guarding from these English or Great Britain army. And also the Prussian army is making its way around. Our ally had some units over here. He had a Polish Legion and a Voltigeurs, which that would have really helped. And you can see on the ground just everywhere is just a ton of corpses. Bodies! Bodies everywhere!
Our men are running, sir.
You guys won't make it too far in Russia. I retreated a group of lifeguard foot, but that probably wasn't going to be too helpful from what I thought, because right now my army was literally broken down to, I think... Oh, yeah, there was 2 units, because I had my general's bodyguard, or general's staff, sorry, over here, because I didn't want to lose my general. So, I basically got this lifeguard foot back over here onto the lines so that they could help defend. And you can see my ally right here had a couple of horse units, a couple units of cavalry. Looks like they're lancers. Both of them are. So, you can definitely turn those around and have a devastating charge against my opponents, or our opponents. And you can see right here that out of all of them, or out of the 6 armies, we have the most amount of troops left over. Which is kind of funny because, I mean, when you look out, there's just a ton of enemy flags every which way over the hills, or over the treetops there. And right here, this is pretty much the force, or all the forces that are left on our side. Which, to be technical, probably about the same amount of units, just a lot more grouped together. Oh, and as well, there was a couple units over here that were going to come in from behind. I don't know why our opponents didn't turn around and kill these guys, but whatever. As you can see right here, the Prussian army had his general right here, which he had Gerhard van Scharnhorst. Some weird name I can't pronounce. And, yeah, I think he was going to get gunned down by these French guys. I don't know why my opponent didn't send in these guys a little bit further, but whatever. That was his call, not mine. And right here you can see that these Great Britain Highland foot got in some flanking positions of these Fusiliers of the line, so I turned my lifeguard foot around to start shooting at those Highlander foot infantry. Which, this was a bit of a problem, was that my ally had so many guys left over that quite literally it was hard for him to spread them out to make all of his infantry really effective by having all of them fire. As you can see, it's only the guys in the front line that are really firing right there. In Fall of the Samurai, I think it's the first 2 lines that are firing. Unless, of course, you have the kneeling position where it's the first 3 lines at that point. And right there he finally noticed that there was some guys coming in from behind, so he sent his 8th Life Regiment up to combat those 2, but that wasn't really going to stop him because, I mean, that's 2 units against 1, and that only has 54 soldiers, when that's 47 and 34. And on top of that, he's taking casualties right there. As you can see, 44 soldiers now. He lost 10 guys in, like, 2 seconds. I'm not sure where my lifeguard foot went. I think they actually started running away. But you can see I sent my general in to get a flanking charge on these Highlander foot. And that proved to be fairly effective, because it shattered them. Right here, these Prussian Fusiliers did have a flanking position on these guys, but they were firing over here on these Fusiliers of the line. So they weren't really using their flanking position. And on top of that, this Polish Legion came in from behind for that 8th Life Regiment. And right here, the Swedish Lion Infantry was going up against these Voltigeurs. You can see now that the tide is definitely in our favor, as my ally rushes all of his guys forward, and my general's staff is in the trees here on that roadway. there's a little bit of a firefight that broke out right here. This is definitely going to be a longer replay, I think. I'm not sure how long I can have YouTube videos be, but I know I had a 16-minute long one a little while ago, and I remember like 2 years ago you couldn't even have a 10-minute long video. So I'm not sure exactly what all the new rules are on that, but hopefully it takes in this replay and I don't have to cut it in half. You can see from my very first Total War replay that I cut that one in half because I didn't want it being over 10 minutes long because I thought the old rules were still in effect. It's funny just how many of these guys are firing at this one Prussian Fusiliers unit, yet this Fusiliers is holding them off no problem. Right there, they brought up their lifeguard regiment because they made the French guys run, or I guess not. The Voltigeurs are still very well alive. They're only winded right now. I know if this was Fall of the Samurai, they'd be exhausted by that time. All that running around. I guess that just means that the infantry inside of Fall of the Samurai are just really fat and out of shape. I don't know. Right here you can see my ally finally bringing up all of his units to this little bit of a last stand here. I'm not sure why Great Britain had both of his infantry in square formation, but
is soon to be yours.
I guess that was just his thought process, was that he was kind of surrounded, so he'll just fight on all fronts. But as you can see, they're kind of just shuffling around and not really shooting that much because they keep losing so many guys with every single barrage. And the Swedish line infantry turned around and was going to fight these guys, and right there, those guys broke. But yeah, you can definitely see throughout this entire battlefield that this has got to be the most littered with corpses I had ever seen in an entire Total War game. Oh, right there was the end of it. As you can see, deployed, I had the least amount of troops deployed overall. And it looks like I had the second least amount of enemies killed, aside from this King of Prussia who was playing the Swedish army instead of the Prussian army. I find that a little ironic. And there you have it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next battle.